I'm going to be reading from Erich Fromm's Man for Himself about a concept that Fromm terms an existential dichotomy. Fromm's definition of this kind of dichotomy is a dichotomy which he calls existential because it is rooted in the very existence of man. They are contradictions which man cannot annul, but to which he can react in various ways relative to his character and his culture. So this concept interests me because this is like the conflict in human existence. Like in a story or a play, you have to have a conflict to further the plot. So these kind of dichotomies sort of provide the conflict for the human story. There are different kinds of dichotomies which are essentially two things that don't match up, like life and death. There are existential ones which cannot be solved because they're basic to the existence of humans, and historical ones, which are dichotomies that exist at a certain time but can be solved. They don't last forever. So I'm going to read some. Man can react to historical contradictions by annulling them through his own action, but he cannot annul existential dichotomies, although he can react to them in different ways. He can appease his mind by soothing and harmonizing ideologies. He can try to escape from his inner restlessness by ceaseless activity in pleasure or business. He can try to abrogate his freedom and to turn himself into an instrument of powers outside himself, submerging himself in them. But he remains dissatisfied, anxious, and restless. There is only one solution to his problem: to face the truth, to acknowledge his fundamental aloneness and solitude in a universe indifferent to his fate, to recognize that there is no power transcending him which can solve his problem for him. Man must accept the responsibility for himself, and the fact that only by using his own powers can he give meaning to his life. But meaning does not imply certainty. Indeed, the quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Uncertainty is the very condition to impel man to unfold his powers. If he faces the truth without panic, he will recognize that there is no meaning to life except the meaning man gives his life by the unfolding of his powers, by living productively, and that only constant vigilance, activity, and effort can keep us from failing in the one task that matters: the full development of our powers within the limitations set by the laws of our existence. Man will never cease to be perplexed, to wonder, and to raise new questions. Only if he recognizes the human situation, the dichotomies inherent in his existence and his capacity to unfold his powers, will he be able to succeed in his task, to be himself and for himself, and to achieve happiness by the full realization of those faculties which are peculiarly his, of reason, love, and productive work. So that was Erich Fromm, Man for Himself. It's from the Human Nature and Character section, under the subtitle, The Existential and Historical Dichotomies in Man.